thank you for joining me today. Here we have a new episode of Bourbon Bar, and today we're going to be reviewing Eagle Rare 10-year bourbon from Buffalo Trace. It is something that I feel everyone is looking for these days. It's become harder and harder to find. I do remember when not long ago I find it sitting at my local Jewel for 33 bucks, and now I have to hunt very, very heavily and efficiently to find some. Unfortunately, it's one of those items that's in such high demand right now. It's getting marked up through the roof. Like Eagle Rare, or like Blanton's, it's one of those items that you either got to know somebody or just be on the right place, right time, and you need a lot on your side. And I mean, it doesn't get marked up to the point that Blanton's does. Blanton's I've seen well over 200, where this I've seen anywhere from like 75 to 150. I don't think it's worth that kind of price point. I would overpay a little bit to get my hands on one, but I wouldn't go north of 100 for it. It's like the Blanton's. I really wouldn't go over 100 for Blanton's, and I really wouldn't go over 75 for Eagle Rare. But you know, with that being said, it is really, really awesome. It is a 10-year bourbon with a msrp of $30. So if you find it anywhere under 50, you just jump on it. I mean, it's really good. It's really quality, and you know, it's one of those centerpieces where, especially when it's not so expensive, you know, your friends come over and want some bourbon, you don't feel bad sharing it. So, you know, I'll leave it at that, and we'll get into starting the show. We'll pick up Glencairn here, and we'll see what we can get out of the nose, see if we can build any legs. Legs are building slowly but nicely and thickly. They're thickly, I don't know if that's a word, but they're getting thick, they're getting nice. It's a very nice sweet nose. A little orange peel, a little honey, a little oak. And one of the most unbelievable things I can possibly pull out of the nose is that grape soda note. I don't know how it's done. That is unbelievable to me, but you do get a little bit of that grape soda. It's incredible. I don't know if it's that wet oak or like what it is, but there's a little something implying that it will finish like dry. After all those sweet, pleasant notes, you get a little bit of something dry at the end, and I think it's just like that wet oak scent. All right, enough of that. Let's go in for a taste. Really, really smooth. A nice medium weight. Not super thick and syrupy, but more than enough to, you know, sit on your tongue and coat your mouth and let you know it's there. So again, no burn in the mouth, no hug going down. It is 90 proof, so it's pretty mild, pretty tame, pretty rich for a 90 proofer. One of those that has a lot of flavor, and you know, just overall an awesome drink. Go back for more. A little vanilla, a little bit of leather, and just overall a nice, sweet, smooth, mildly spiced, and I do mean mildly. It comes from Buffalo Trace's Mash Bill 1, which their recipe has less than 10% rye. So you get a very, very little pepper spice, very, very mild spice at the end. But for the most part, it is a nice, mid-weight, smooth, sweet bourbon. And 10 years in the barrel doesn't do this one injustice. It's not like one of those where you crack it and you really need to let it breathe for a long time. It does get better with a little bit of time, but initially it doesn't come out as overly concentrated or dry, or it doesn't come out of the gates, you know, flat-footed. It comes out with almost everything initially, and over a little bit of time letting it breathe. This has been open for me for about a month now, and as you can see, I've done some work to it. It's just so nice. After a little time, like I said, it just gets a little sweeter and a little less refined in the best possible way. You get a little bit more notes without them coming off abrasive, or like some of them get thinner or flatter or lose flavor notes, and this one, it allows you to taste them a little better. Smooth, sweet, mild spice, white pepper. Then after it cleanses out of your palate, you get into some of those more sweet type things like bubblegum, taffy, and then vanilla, and then it dries up with some oakiness. And it's got a nice ride, a nice amount of flavor. It's not singular, as I like to compare it to weak bourbons. This is really, really nice. It's got a few different layers of depth, and it's definitely something you'd like and enjoy. $30 to $50, buy it all day. I don't think you're gonna find too many other 10 years that you can actually pay $30 to $50 for. Henry McKenna is one that jumps to mind. It is a true single barrel though, and in the last 5 years, I have not seen McKenna for less than $60. Is it worth it? Yes, but you know, I can't really compare that fairly. I mean, McKenna I think is $39 anyways, but still, if you found them for the same price and you try them side by side, you'd have a hard time dissing this one. It's just so good. I mean, I still have that like sweet, dry spice going on at the end of my mouth right now, and I just finished my sip, 30 seconds ago? Still no heat. Geez, I've had about an ounce now. I'm trying to get this last bit down and see if it warms me up a little bit, but it's just so pleasant. It's sweet and smooth, and I can't think of too many. I can, but it's going to be hard to find better bourbon for the price point. And like I said, when your friends come over, you don't mind sharing this. If your friends come over and you got a bottle of Pappy 10, or I'm sorry, Van Winkle 10, probably not going to want to crack it and share it. If your friends come over and you have this, screw it. It's Eagle Rare. It's $30 to $50. If you paid $80, you might hold on to it a little longer, but even at $80, it's not. I don't like to overpay, but it's still really good bourbon at $80. Now, I can mention Michter's 10-year bourbon, single barrel. That naturally has a high price point, but it's really, really good. I have one back there. I haven't built up the courage to open it yet. I've actually had a bottle from that same barrel. I was looking at the barrel, bottle number stuff, information on it, and I've been lucky enough to have another one that was only, 2 bottles off in distribution. Absolutely phenomenal. Is it worth $100 to me? Absolutely. Is it worth more than that? Absolutely. This is just incredible for, like I said, $30 to $50. And some states, I'm sure you can find it a little easier. Here in Illinois, it's become one of those harder to get allocated items. Like I said, you need friends, connections, consistency, something to that, or you need to be willing to pay a little more when it does pop up. But I'm not going to harp on that too much. I'll have my last sip, and thank you guys for joining me today. That is so good. So good. All right, friends. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Thank you.